Kiev today released details of Tuesday's attack by Russian forces on Ukrainian critical infrastructure. 30 facilities were damaged in the attacks, including 15 energy facilities. The shelling caused numerous breakdowns and power outages in 17 of Ukraine's 24 regions. The fighting is currently concentrated in the Donetsk region. The situation in the Donetsk region remains tense. Fierce fighting and exchanges of fire make it impossible to determine which side is prevailing on this section of the front. We are holding our positions despite the numerous attacks resulting from the enemy's numerical superiority. The impact of the Russian missile on Mykolaiv has led to a lack of drinking water for the town's residents. Ukrainians are working to restore the water supply to full capacity. The work is hampered because the area has been mined by the recently ousted Russian occupation authorities. We started work as soon as the opportunity arose. The whole area is mined. Look all around. We have placed bollards that mark the safe zone. That's why we only work where the sappers allow it. I wanted to drive through the bushes as usual to reach the field. Here is the result. The car is torn apart like a toy. Tuesday's attack was the most massive shelling of critical infrastructure since the beginning of the Russian invasion in February. Missiles hit the center of Kiev, Dnipro and Odessa, where our station's correspondent is staying, among other places. Today, just as 2 days ago, the Russians launched a missile attack on critical infrastructure. This includes gas connections, mining installations. Odessa was also bombed. The attack also took place at such a large industrial complex. This is a factory that overhauls engines and turbines. Local authorities in Kherson have been investigating the scale of Russian terror against civilians since Friday. The prosecutor of the Kherson region has confirmed the operation of Russian torture centers in the city. Residents are appealing for humanitarian aid. By humanitarian aid, we mean diapers, medicine and food for children. The most important thing is that our children should not lack anything. We adults will manage somehow. The most important thing is that our children are comfortable. I was brought here at night. Earlier I was held in another basement because there were several such detentions. They tied me to a chair and blindfolded me. They tortured me during interrogation. Do you know the most frightening thing? I heard throughout the day how they tortured others. I could hear terrifying screams. I was afraid because I knew it would be my turn soon. Russians adapted a local police station into a detention center where residents had been interrogated and tortured for 9 months. Investigators in the Kherson region have confirmed more than 400 Russian war crimes. Today we received information that strikes were made from the north of Crimea at the airport where about 80 aircraft were stationed. The chairman of the College of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States Army, General Mike Miley, stressed that the Ukraine's chances of military victory in the near term are slim. He added that despite the Kremlin setbacks, Russian units with high combat potential are still stationed in Ukraine. The Pentagon has allocated another $700 million in military aid to Kiev.
And we, the United States, are determined to continue to support Ukraine with the means to defend themselves for as long as it takes. But at the end of the day, Ukraine will remain a free and independent country with its territory intact. Russia could end this war today. Russia could put an end to it right now, but they won't. They're going to continue that fight. They're going to continue that fight into the winter as best we can tell.
G7 foreign ministers began a 2-day meeting in Munster today. The summit's issues centre around Russian aggression against Ukraine. Every day, the consequences of war threaten the security of the people of Ukraine. We are also considering the news piling up about the failures of the Russian army. But nevertheless, this conflict continues to threaten all of Europe. An example is the recent incident in Poland. We must be very vigilant against other potential threats.
We're going to be talking about a wide range of issues that touch on the solidarity of the West when it comes to the illegal incursion into Ukraine. We're going to be talking about how we are together going to combat the many threats to the ever-evolving landscape on threats to our national security, whether we're talking about foreign interference or cybersecurity. Or the advent of ideologically motivated extremism. So very grateful to Germany and especially to Minister Faeser for the opportunity.
Experts at the Institute for the Study of War in a recent report revealed that from the occupied Donbass, more than 150,000 children were deported to Chechnya for military patriotic upbringing under coercion. These actions have left a lasting mark on Ukrainian society and the psyche of the youngest.